Kevin McCarthy. Welcome, Mr. Speaker. Midterms are not historically kind to the party in power. What does it take to change that?
Well, there's a lot of things you got to look at. Only 2 times in modern history did the party in power actually pick up seats. One was after 9/11, so that you might want to say that could have been an anomaly in that part. And you also want to look to history. The New Jersey and Virginia races that are off election year, so they're in between, those sometimes give us some early indication. Usually if a Republican wins one of them, Republicans are going to flip and win the House. If Democrats win both, means that they have a better chance. And they won both, so this is a moment in time. If you take that last presidential election, President Trump not only did well, he did fantastic. He not only won, he won the popular vote, he carried every swing state, but Republicans in the House actually lost seats. So even though President Trump brought you a great big turnout, brought you an agenda, you still lost seats. So looking at that, I would take this moment at the end of the year and I would look at what have we accomplished. You're in a tough spot, change the direction. So you got to lay out a plan. I would focus on the economy. You're going to have to focus something on health care because the Democrats have really destroyed it. I would literally focus of where it sets us for the future. Be aspirational. When we had this battle looking forward about China and others, they control a lot of rare earth. We're watching a lot of things happen, but only by executive order because of the president. That's really a very good roadmap for the House. Take those executive orders and start passing them. They had a shutdown. The Democrats put you into that. But you kept the members away, and it takes a long time. As you know, Trey, you were one of the finest chairmen of a committee we had. You have to do a markup. You got to do a hearing before the markup. Then you have to pass the bill in committee. Then you got to win the bill on the floor. Then the Senate has to pass it. So you lost 2 months of your majority. So do a double time. Work longer. Put a strategy together ahead of time and focus on what the American people want. And a lot of that comes in Trump's executive orders.
You know, Speaker, I used to marvel whether you were the whip, the majority leader, Speaker. I marveled at the way that you kept the coalition together, because now parts of the GOP seem to constantly be at war with one another. I don't recall a discharge petition ever being successful under you, under Speaker Boehner, under Speaker Ryan. So how does leadership keep the team coalesced when you either can't or won't punish or reward the children that are misbehaving?
Look, it's difficult to govern in a small majority. And one time a discharge petition passed under Boehner, but Boehner wanted it to come. It was the XM Bank. So it really wasn't. But normally what happens if you're the majority, you want to put legislation on the floor that unites the majority and divides the minority party, whoever is not in the power. A discharge petition is quite the opposite. You're giving control over, you're giving your majority up, that you're allowing the minority party to unite and divide the majority. That's a very bad sign, and it's happened numerous times here. So I would bring the whole team together. And the first part is a structure dictates behavior. If this is happening, that means something's not working as a coalition together. And remember what Abraham Lincoln said, a house divided cannot stand. So your very first question, can we keep the majority? Historically says it's harder this year. But if you're fighting among yourselves and you're turning the power over to the minority, you're really answering that first question. The good thing is we're about to come into a new year. A whole new year where you could change the direction. It's still a long time before that election. Remember what people would sit back and say, oh, President Trump doesn't have a chance to win. Not only did he win, he won by such a big margin, carrying every swing state and really keeping the majority in the House. So let's bring the parties together. Let's unite on things that keep us together and actually divide the Democrats. Start bringing issues that are 80-20. Everybody loves a safe street. Everybody loves good schools. Everybody loves a strong economy. Everybody loves a border secure. Everybody loves a future that's bright. Look to space so we could actually compete to the future. And you know what? There's a lot of places where innovation could actually save money, make government more efficient and more accountable, and really deliver to the American people what they've been asking for.
If memory serves me correctly, you retook the House and you grew the majority. I think you were the author of the Young Guns that had that historic 80-person class. So hopefully they listen to you, Speaker. Part of me misses having you there, and part of me is glad that I get to talk to you whenever I want, because you answer your phone more now than you did when you were Speaker of the House. So thank you for joining us on this special edition, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Well, I look forward to talking to you a lot more in the new year, Trey. Congratulations on all your success, your book and your show.
Thank you, brother. You take care.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.